everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about 10 books that I think I'm going to give 5 stars. So this is a new 5-star prediction list. We hope that every book we pick up we're going to give 5 stars, but for some reason these 10 just seem to me to be the most likely to be like new all-time favorites for some reason or another that we'll talk about. So I'm just going to get right into the list. The first book that I think I'm going to give 5 stars is The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan. This book was actually featured in my underrated fantasy books list, and that was a list that was provided by you all. So you all gave me books that you thought were super underrated, and one of you said The Gutter Prayer, and I got so many comments saying that other people also loved The Gutter Prayer on that video. And then when I went to read the summary for it, it sounded so good. It says that it's about these 3 thieves in this city that stand alone against this coming darkness. One of these thieves is like a ghost of some kind. It just sounds like this really cool kind of fantasy world that has a lot of paranormal elements to it, and I love the whole thief trope. I don't know, there's something about this book that I think I'm going to love. At least I really hope so. Next book I have is Mort by Terry Pratchett. This is the start to my Discworld journey, and just from everything I've heard about Discworld, I think I'm gonna love it. Alan has done an awesome video on where to start with Discworld. If you are interested, I'm going to link his video down below. He also did a tier ranking video for Discworld that was great. So he has spoken so highly of Discworld and has made me so excited to start it. Mort is the start of the Death books, I think they're called. And Mort is a character that is hired by Death, but he doesn't want to do the whole Death thing. I don't know, it sounds great. It sounds like Mort is going to be this really kind of sarcastic character. I think I'm really going to like the humor in the Discworld books based off of how Alan describes them. I really like Monty Python humor, and I feel like that's what I'm going to get from some of these Discworld books. So I'm just really excited to start Discworld. I think I'm going to absolutely love it. The next book that I will quickly mention is another Alan recommendation, and I'm only saying that this is a 5-star prediction because it was a 5-star for Alan, and that's The Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. He loves this book and the series so much, and we usually have very similar tastes. He says this is a swashbuckling adventure fantasy book. It sounds like something I'm going to absolutely love. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like this book. I know Liena and Elle don't like this book. I usually really do agree with a lot of Alan's opinions, so I'm gonna side with Team Alan here and see if I love this book as much as him. So we will see which side I end up on, but I'm really excited to finally read it and to see if it truly is worth all the hype. So this one's on you, Alan. This one's on you. Next book is probably a book you have heard so many times, but it is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This book just sounds like cuteness in a book. It sounds like it's about cute people doing cute things in a cute place, and that to me is perfection. I love cute stuff. I love just warm-hearted stories with cute characters and little kids, and this just sounds like everything I need on a bad day. So I think I'm gonna love this. I think this is gonna be hopefully an easy 5-star. I don't even care like what the story is, because if it just gives me like cute things throughout the whole book, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. So I'm really excited about this. The next book I have is Ring Shout by Peter Jelly Clark, and I have heard Jashana really love this one. I think that this sounds fantastic. I think the only reason it probably wouldn't get 5 stars is because it's a novella, and I don't think I've ever read a novella that I've given 5 stars yet, so I'm hoping that this one is the first. This is a really cool historical fantasy that takes the idea of the Ku Klux Klan and makes them into like these fantasy demon monsters that can be destroyed. And I just think that that sounds brilliant. I am so excited because I've heard the character work is fantastic. I've heard just the idea is executed to perfection. So I think that this sounds awesome. It sounds like something I'm going to love. Let's just hope that this will be the first novella I ever give 5 stars. The next book I have is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Last year I read Wild Seed by Octavia Butler and really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was so unique. The writing style was beautiful and just the concepts were cool. And this one I've heard is a lot of people's favorite Octavia Butler, which is why I'm putting it in my 5-star prediction, because I gave Wild Seed 4 stars last year. And if this is everyone's like favorite, or at least like the fan favorite, then it's got to be 5 stars, right? It just sounds so good. So, and I loved Octavia Butler's writing style from Wild Seed. So again, if it's her writing style and it's even better than Wild Seed, I don't see how I'm not going to love this. The next book I have is Fox Gambit by Yoon-Ha Lee. So this is a epic sci-fi book that I've heard is very complex, but I've heard has amazing characters and concepts. And I know Angela from Literature Science Alliance, she loves this series and has gotten me so excited to try it. And I think from what she said about it, I think I'm gonna love it. I was always worried about picking up really complex sci-fi books, but after reading A Memory Called Empire and really enjoying that book, I'm not quite as intimidated anymore because that one was very complex sci-fi. So I think if this one doesn't go too over my head, I think I'm going to love it. I'm really hoping I do. I usually really line up with Angela's tastes, like her opinions I very much share most of the time. So here's hoping that I agree with Angela and also end up loving this book. The last sci-fi fantasy book I have before I move into a couple contemporaries is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. The reason this is on the list is because last year I read Uprooted and I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought it was beautifully written. I really liked the writing and I really liked the story. I just thought it was a little slow, but I've heard Spinning Silver is it seems to be, I know a lot of people prefer Uprooted, but it seems to me that the majority of people prefer Spinning Silver, or at least like the people that I watch and I tend to agree with for their opinions. They seem to really prefer Spinning Silver and say it's like a totally different book. Apparently this one is much faster paced. The writing style isn't quite as flowery and the character work is fantastic, is what I've heard. And if that's true, I am so excited because I actually really thought Uprooted was good. And if Spinning Silver is like that much better, I'm really excited. And I know Leanna over at Leanna's Library, she has tried several Naomi Novik books and didn't really like any of them until Spinning Silver. So me liking Uprooted just fine, I feel like how can I not like Spinning Silver? I feel like that would be crazy. So we'll see. We shall see. The second to last book I have is The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare. So this book, I feel like I'm going to love it because it follows the story of a young girl who is growing up in Nigeria, and it follows like multiple years of her life. And whenever we have these really hard-hitting, emotional contemporary books about like multiple years and decades of a character's life, I usually end up falling head over heels for those stories. Stories like City of Girls, Homegoing, The Heart's Invisible Furies. This just sounds like it's just my kind of contemporary book. Like I just love those types of stories. I've heard it's really emotional. I've heard it's really powerful. I've heard that the main character is so fantastic. So I think I'm gonna love this. I really do. I'm really hoping I do. And the last book I have to talk about is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I loved Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I loved Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. Both of those books are two of my favorites. I really enjoyed A Man Called Uwe. It was not my favorite, but I still really enjoyed it. I was a little bit more meh on the one with the really long name. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. That one I was a little bit more iffy on. So far Frederick Bachman really hasn't disappointed me. And I've heard that Anxious People is kind of this really nice blend of kind of like a comedy, but also like really emotional. And I don't know, there's something about the way it sounds. I'm hoping that this one hits me like Beartown did. That I just completely connect with it, and I completely connect with the characters. I love Frederick Bachman's character work. I hope I love it. I hope I love it as much as everyone else, because I've been seeing such fantastic reviews for this book. So those are the 10 books that I think I will be giving 5 stars, or I think will become some new all-time favorites, or I at least will love. So did you see any on this list that you've read before, and what did you think of them? Did you love them? Did you not like them as much? Definitely let me know. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!